A couple of years ago, I had an opportunity to walk through an unfinished basement that was being hardwired with Ethernet to document some of the process. This included showing how wires are run and secured through the walls, the different devices that were being used, as well as how everything was connected together. These concepts, although they're shown here in a home network, will apply to many small business and even corporate networks as well, just on a bigger scale. For this video, we will follow the path of data from a simple host machine through the walls of the house and into the brains of the network. So first, let's start with this pretty standard Roku box. Now, although this media streaming device could be added to the network wirelessly, for best performance and reliability, the homeowner has decided to actually hardwire it into the network. To accomplish this, a small patch cable is used to connect the device into a wall jack. This wall jack is used as a place to terminate the cable running through the house into a nice clean looking wall plate for two main reasons. First, and really most importantly, this helps protect the backbone cabling. Now, backbone is referring to the main cables that are run through the walls of the house. By terminating those long runs into a wall plate, they are best protected from damage that could occur from this device being tugged on, or the cable being cut, or any other number of unforeseen circumstances. With this wall jack, if one of those scenarios were to happen, we simply replace this small, cheap patch cable and the main cabling is unharmed. The second reason is this gives a nice clean look on the wall if there is no device plugged in. From the wall jack that we saw upstairs, the backbone cable is run through all of the walls, like you can see behind me, then bundled together with cables run from other areas of the house. Those then run through the joists into a centralized location in the house. In this house, that is an unfinished section of the basement. Now, when running these backbone cables, it is important to label each of them individually as you run it. This will save you an enormous amount of time as you go to get each room connected. For this installation, the homeowner has opted for a robust cabling solution to allow for organization and expansion of the network as needed. This setup includes a wall-mounted rack that houses a patch panel, a switch, and a wireless router and modem combination. Also in this rack is an optional firewall and wireless access point that are not currently in use. Now, in the same way that the backbone cables were terminated into a wall jack for protection upstairs, the same idea needs to happen down here. The difference is, down here, we have over a dozen cables that all need terminated in the same location. So an individual wall jack for each of them doesn't really make any sense. To make this termination easier and more organized, a patch panel like this one is used. Now, you can think of this as a device that simply lines up a bunch of wall jacks to make terminating cables easier. From here, each of our backbone cables will need to have a jumper cable that takes it from the patch panel into a port on our switch. After the patch panel, we've connected to the switch, which is the device that will actually allow all of our connected devices to communicate on the network and then eventually access the internet. You know that a device is communicating when the lights on the switch are blinking, like you see here. The last stop on our Roku's trip to the internet is our router/modem. In this setup, that is an all-in-one device that's provided by the ISP. This device is connected to the switch just like every other device, which allows it to communicate with everyone. This also acts as the network's gateway, literally the gate between the home's internal network and the internet. All traffic destined for the internet must pass through this device. Now, with everything connected, the Roku is able to access the internet and begin streaming shows. Hopefully, this has provided a little bit of context for how cabling is handled in new construction and allows you to better picture how all of these components you're learning about start to work together.